Hi, my name is Dwayne Henson, and we'll be talking about accountability tonight. We've heard a lot about accountability in the news during public speeches and in conversation. Due to the frequency of its use, the value of accountability seems to be lost. To be a coach of accountability, it is important to know the following. What does accountability mean? Why accountability is important? What does accountability look like? How does the accountability impact our lives and the lives of others? And as Brown stated, accountability is a choice that will aid in both individual and team improvement. So what does accountability mean? According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the definition of accountability is an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. However, being a coach of accountability means much more: to always exercise moral and ethical behaviors according to the teachings of God's Word, to have the courage to remain steadfast in your moral and ethical behaviors, to be loving and humble servant, to be transparent and subject to scrutiny in all things, to have the ability to provide explanation in a manner that is reasonable and without a defensive tone, to have the awareness and the ability to apologize when warranted. Now that we have an understanding of what accountability means, we also need to know why accountability is important in being a coach. Accountability is a quality of character that needs to be taken and demonstrated by the coach or leader to instill a culture within their team or their organization that constantly demonstrates ethical and moral behaviors. Understand that each person is committed to their actions and to each other, knows that accountability allows for growth, positive change, and success, fosters trust, builds relationships, and create unity. Now let's look at some examples of accountability. The team captain from the movie Remember the Titans demonstrated accountability to his teams when confronting and cutting a teammate who had been a longtime friend for unethical behaviors on the field.
Hey, Coach. Can I speak to you in private?
Sure. What's on your mind, sir?
I want Ray off the team, Coach.
You know my policy here.
Yes, I do. And I respect it, but I know that Ray missed that block on purpose. Sometimes you just gotta cut a man loose.
Well, you're the captain. You make a decision, but you support your decision. Ray?
You're out.
What?
I'm not gonna let you play for this team anymore.
Oh yeah, Jerry Lewis? Gonna go and tell Coach Kuhn what to do just like last time? But then that's right. He is your daddy now, isn't he? Kuhn don't cut anybody. Remember, Gary?
I had you cut, Ray.
You willing to just throw away our friendship for them? You can keep on.
As difficult as it was for the team captain to address and cut his friend from the team, he knew that the conduct that his friend was displaying was morally and ethically wrong. Failure of the team captain to take appropriate actions would jeopardize the safety and trust of the team. Let's look at another example of accountability.
Okay.
If I may,
Yes, Mr. Carter.
you really need to consider the message that you're sending these boys. It's the same message that we as a culture send to our pro athletes, which is that they are above the law. Not trying to teach these boys the discipline that will inform their lives and give them choices. If you endorse the fact that 15, 16, and 17-year-olds don't have to honor the simple rules of a basketball contract, how long do you think it'll be before they're out there breaking laws? Now, I played basketball at Richmond 30 years ago. It it was the same thing then. Some of my teammates ended up in prison. Some of them ended up dead. I took this job because I wanted to affect change in a special group of young men, and this is the only way I know how to do that. If you vote to end the lockout, you won't have to terminate. I'll quit.
Thank you, Mr. Carter.
In this clip from the movie Coach Carter, actor Samuel L. Jackson portrays a coach who distributes contracts with expectations to each person who was interested in playing on the basketball team. One aspect of the contract addressed grades. After finding that the team was not maintaining their grades according to the contract, Coach Carter locked the gym and canceled some season games. The coach demonstrated accountability to the young men on the basketball team when he subjected himself to the verbal abuse of parents, the scrutinization of media, and the judgment of the school board. Coach Carter demonstrated accountability through his courage to stand by his moral and ethical convictions. It was through his willingness to quit to avoid being a party to the system that did not elevate the youth that he was dedicated in serving that further demonstrated his accountability to his players. We have just seen an example of accountability and the impact it can have on the coach or the leader or as well as the team. Now let's look at how the lack of accountability can impact a coach and others.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are two people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, something else left to do.
Here we see a man and a woman who became stuck on a stalled escalator. Their initial reaction is of disbelief and disgust. They call out for help, but no one's there. As a result of their apathy, they are blind to being accountable of their situation. They have become victims to their circumstance. The lack of accountability prevents them from meeting their responsibilities. When a coach lacks accountability, seeking assistance from the outside rather than being accountable creates an environment where they are the victims, always placing blame on others or their circumstances. The lack of accountability prevents integrity, voids trust, and stalls growth. With the knowledge of what accountability means, a coach needs to look at the importance of the role as a steward of God. Hebrews 10 verse 24 says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds." This verse focuses on the importance of spiritual development and our relationship with God. When a coach is accountable in following God's word, they are developing their own spiritual maturity while encouraging the spiritual growth of their staff and athletes. When serving as coach of accountability, one is steadfast, courageous, and above all loving towards those who they are in contact with. Through the accountability, a coach can create a team that is pleasing to God while being a testament to the community. Are you ready to be a coach of accountability? This is my presentation. Thank you.